Welcome to the warm-up exercise for the Why Am I podcast called The Fantasy Restaurant. In here, my guests get to pick their favorite drink, appetizer, main, side, and dessert. Quite literally, anything goes. This, of course, has a little seafood because mermaid, but it is quite likely the most magical meal we've had in the restaurant. I mean, quite literally magical. I hope you enjoy this meal with Shay. Shay, thank you for joining me in the fancy restaurant today.
Thank you. I'm very excited to eat here.
Excellent. All right. Well, here's the premise. This is a fantasy restaurant, and truly anything goes here. So I'm going to be asking you about foods. It could be from your childhood. Maybe your grandma made it. Maybe your mom made it. Maybe it's something you make today. Maybe it's something from your favorite restaurant, or it could be from your favorite like fantasy novel or movie or whatever. No rhyme or reason. Only has to make sense to you. Cool?
Sounds good.
All right. So let's start at the start. What are you going to have to drink?
Ooh, I'm gonna have a drink that's like color changing,
Whoa.
kind of doing like something with like a butterfly pea flower, so it's real. Um, it's gonna be like a seltzer. Yeah, it's gonna be like a lemonade spritzer with like mineral water in it. So it'll give me like bubbles and color change, and yeah, and maybe like a little bit of like glitter in it, because why not?
Oh my gosh. Well, what are you going to name this drink? It's got to have a name. It
Call
sounds
it
way
the
too
Mystical
interesting.
Mermaid.
Mystical Mermaid. I love it. Mystical Mermaid. All right. How are you on ice? Are you a glass full, or just a little bit at the top, or none at all? Just the drink chilled? What's it going to look like?
It's gonna be light ice. And the like that ice that kind of when you bite it breaks down into snow. You know, like that
Oh,
kind of soft ice. Yeah,
nugget ice.
pellets.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a little nugget ice maker that's like the size of like a little cooler sort of thing that I have to keep it in my garage because it screams like a banshee. Like, I don't know why. It like, you feel like the house is haunted whenever this thing's rocking. So we have to keep it in the garage so you don't have to hear it scream. But I will have nugget ice available for that. All right. Dude, off to the races. I can dig it. So we've got our drink squared away. So now, absolutely my favorite part of the meal is the appetizer section. What are you going to get?
Hmm. Fantasy appetizers. It'll probably be like a shrimp dish. Uh, yeah. Let's do some kind of grilled shrimp with like a fun dip.
Grilled
Uh,
shrimp.
yeah.
What's a fun dip?
I'm trying to think like it's gonna be tangy but light because like shrimp is good, right? So we don't need to like
Yeah.
weigh it down with like ranch, which is delicious, but like it overpowers shrimp, right? So just like a little like light, tangy, garlicky dip
Ooh,
because
you got it.
dipping is fun.
Light, tangy, garlicky. I like it. So is this shrimp? Is this fried or
I
is
think
this
it's
boiled? What is
grilled.
grilled?
Yeah,
Grilled.
yeah.
Grilled shrimp with a light tangy sauce. I like that. Now we hit this little interstitial, this in between period where you're still kind of waiting on your food. I like to call it the bread slash salad slash soup portion. Are you going to get some of that, any of that? What do you usually go for?
We go for all the bread
Yes,
with a
ma'am.
good like garlic oil situation. If there's a sampler of like dipping oils, even better.
With a sampler of. So describe the perfect bread.
The perfect bread is almost too hot to hold.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And then you break it open. And so it's like that. I don't even know what kind of bread. As for someone who loves bread as much as I do, like the fact that I can't tell you what kind of bread is what, I'm just like, it's the good one. So it's a little firmer on the outside, and then you break it open, and it's like nice and dense and doughy, and like then properly absorbs our like assortment of dipping oils that
I
we've got
love
going
it.
on.
So is the crust, is it just a little bit chewy? So it's not too hard, but
Yeah, exactly.
all right. How about like a sourdough maybe? Does that work?
Good. That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
As
hot
long as it's
sourdough.
hot. Yeah.
You're speaking my language. I love a hybrid. So we've got garlic oil. We've got a sampler of sauces. Are you doing any butter with this?
Yeah. Not if I got the sampler of oils. That's
I
like a whole different meal, I feel like.
I can dig it. You're the first person to refuse butter. I'm on
I
board.
love butter. I don't want to mix the butter and the oil. Like I feel like that's two different vibes. Like I don't know why, but it feels like two different vibes for me.
I can dig it. I'm here for it. I get it. I get it. Okay. So I guess we've got our bread situated. Now we're gonna move on to your main dish. What are you gonna have? What's the big thing?
Hmm. I can eat whatever I want. It's just so overwhelming.
Too many choices. Yeah.
Okay, all right, I got it. You know what the kids ate on Hook? That just magical bowl of colors. And I'm imagining that whenever they put it in their mouth, it tasted like something different. So we'll go with that because it's everything and nothing.
Dude, I love it. Bowl of colors. Every bite is different.
Yeah.
And that makes me think of like on Harry Potter, like the everything flavored beans, man. It's like
Yeah.
crapshoot.
Yeah.
Everything is different. Okay. Well, what are you going to pair with your bowl of everything?
Of everything. A
Like,
side of everything. And so I guess we get like a couple different dishes of everything. So it's like the bowl is like I just love the kids on Hook because I feel like they were like eating with their hands and basically like finger painting their mouths or their faces. But like, so I guess we've got like ever changing entree with like, no, let's put just like a really good salad with it. Like
there you go.
ever changing entree of like just ridiculousness that's like super, super rich. And then we have like an incredibly fresh salad. Obviously, you have a herb garden in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, with like a handmade, homemade dressing that's very garlicky. That's a recurring trend here. Um, yeah,
All right. A garlicky dressing. Whenever I think of a garlicky dressing, like a good one, I think of like a Caesar. Is that your bag or no?
Caesar's like okay. I don't know. Recently, I went to this Peruvian restaurant and they basically had what tasted like homemade ranch with extra garlic in it, and it was
Oof.
like yeah. And I'm like, it was out of town. If it weren't, I would have tried to buy just the dressing. And I'm like, maybe I can just take regular ranch and add like garlic juice to it and see if it'll have the same effect.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
not had time to do that yet, but
I would. When I eat like a Caesar, I want everybody to know that I ate it. Like I want you to be
yeah,
able to smell it, like a couple
right,
of feet
right,
away.
yeah,
Oh, so much garlic. I love it.
yeah,
But I like it. You're grounding. You're kind of. It's like a juxtaposition. You're kind of grounding the everything with a salad. I like that. That way you can kind of palate cleanse in between
yeah,
bites, maybe a little
yeah.
bit. All right. Arguably, some would argue, the most important part of the meal is the dessert. So how would you cap off this crazy meal?
I'm so ready for this. I just went on my first cruise and my favorite thing was they had like it was around Halloween, so they had all these like Halloween themed desserts. So it's going to be a dessert and coffee pairing, and I guess it depends on like exactly when we're eating because I want the desserts to be like just themed, like. And so, like, it could generically be like mermaid themed because I'm a mermaid, but like if it's Christmas, they need to like look like Christmas. Um, and they're sweet, but not too sweet because then you can eat more of it, you know? Because if it's like too sweet, you're like, oh, I'm done. But if it's like lightly sweet, you can keep going.
how
And
about
then
how about we
we,
do every season? We represent every season on
I love this.
there.
Yes. A seasonal dessert mini sampling. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that
And
means
half the season
Christmas
there's some kind of chocolate.
is
Are we
Christmas going to be kind of like coconutty, like to the snowflake kind of like look like that, or
ooh, yeah, like coconut and rum. So it's like a tropical Christmas, but it looks, yeah, it's a coconut rum chocolate thing. So it's because my mom's uncle used to make us these bourbon balls and they would give them to everybody. And I would be like 7 and I'd eat this thing and I'd be like, because it was just so strong. And then unfortunately, like right around the time I was old enough to appreciate the flavor was also like right around the time he died. So I only had like 1 or 2 good years of enjoying it, But yeah, so you've got this like dark chocolate bourbon or rum with coconut, which both gives you like tropical vibes, but like the coconut also gives us the snow. I love it. Plus, it gives me
Uh,
nostalgia memories. You're hitting it all.
for sure, for sure. All right, so we've got bourbon balls. Well, I mean, we're coming. Are we just gonna pretend like it's not almost Thanksgiving?
Okay. Perfect Thanksgiving dessert is corn pudding.
Corn
Uh,
pudding. What is that? I've never heard of
I
it.
don't even know. My aunt makes it. I need to get the recipe, and I don't know, but it's magical. It was my brother's favorite. So, like, you know how like you have that aunt and you're like, "Oh, you're coming? Are you also bringing this dish?" Like corn pudding is that. And it's like one of those ones where like technically we would treat it as a side, but it's way too sweet because it's like
Um,
I don't know what she does. I have no clue, but it's like it's a lot of different kinds of canned corn. It is creamy, it is sweet, it is baked. It sounds gross, but it is magical. Like when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, so you want canned corn turned into pudding form? Like it sounds terrible. Absolutely amazing.
oh,
I've had like creamy corn dishes from people who aren't her. Meh. Specifically, it needs to be Aunt Phyllis's. That's the only one I've ever loved.
all right. Yeah, because in my head initially I was imagining like vanilla pudding with corn mixed in, and that just sounds all
That
kinds
sounds
of
gross. Yeah, that
yeah,
just sounds
not great.
offensive. Yeah.
But I can get what I mean. I'm from the South, so we eat a
Okay.
lot of cream corn and stuff like that. So I've had some homemade cream corn that's like really sweet. I mean, it's
Yeah.
almost like you're eating breakfast cereal or something.
Right, exactly. So it's like you pretend it's a side, but really it's dessert. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
just claim it. Corn pudding is the Thanksgiving dessert.
Okay. Okay. I don't think we need to go any further down the rabbit hole
Okay.
because I could sit here and talk about all of the
Me
various
too. I'm
desserts
like,
and how we're
ooh,
good.
what's for New Year's? How do we
Oh,
celebrate that?
I
Like,
know, bro. St. Patrick's Day, like that's a
yes.
complicated one. Like I don't even know where you'd go with that. But yeah, like all of them, all of them.
Yes.
Valentine's Day is obviously just gonna be something real chocolatey, right?
Yeah, but it has to be like, yeah, it's probably like a chocolate raspberry, very rich, paired with the champagne. Yeah.
Okay. What's July 4th?
July 4th. Maybe it's just like the best popsicle of your life. Like maybe an alcoholic popsicle. Maybe we're back to coconut again, even though there's nothing like, but it's like, it's kind of, because it's a kind of creamy popsicle, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want an elevated grown up popsicle experience.
Whenever I think of July 4th, I always think of Jello molds for some reason.
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. The
Yeah.
jigglers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or like I think somebody used to make like a red, white, and blue one all the time, like
Hmm.
layered or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had that one, but I've definitely seen pictures of it. It is
I've
kind of
seen
like
it. I don't
iconic.
think I've eaten it either, but doesn't mean I doesn't. All right. So let me read back your menu just to make sure I don't screw anything up.
Okay.
I don't want the kitchen getting blamed for my mistakes here. So we're gonna start out with a very colorful drink. It's gonna be a lemonade seltzer, and whenever you order it, you're just gonna call it the Mystic Mermaid, and I'm gonna know what you're ordering, right? So we're good. It's gonna have just the right amount of nugget ice too. It's the good
Yes.
ice, as we call it down here. It's gonna have the good ice,
Exactly.
and then we're gonna have some grilled shrimp. So when you say shrimp, do you like them small? Or do you like the prawns, like the monster boys?
Medium.
All right, in between. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's compromise. Why one or the other? Let's meet in the middle, and we're gonna have a light tangy garlic sauce with that one. We are gonna have a hot sourdough loaf that's gonna be just the fluffiest texture inside, nice open cell structure.
Rolls, not loaves.
Rolls,
Yeah.
I
You
can
gotta
dig it.
break over open each individual like heat bomb. Like the loaf, the cooling happens weird.
And
It's like
amazingly, somehow, whenever you pick up the next one, it's gonna be equally hot, and you're gonna have to take your
right.
time with it. It's gonna be perfect, perfect. And then we're gonna have definitely garlic oil, but then also kind of a sampler of sauces to go with it as well. And then we are gonna have a bowl of everything. So it's just gonna be swirling colors every time you take a bite. It's gonna be a different meal, just in a spoon. It's gonna be amazing. And then we're gonna pair that. We're gonna ground it, I should say, with a salad, like a really super fresh everything. I mean, like literally just picked and rinsed off. So it's gonna be so fresh. We're also gonna have a garlicky dressing, perhaps from a Peruvian restaurant. Sound good?
sounds great.
All right. And then dessert. We're going to cap it off with a dessert from every season. I'm just imagining like a giant Lazy Susan full of all these desserts that you could just kind of rotate. Maybe you're in the center of the Lazy Susan and it moves around you.
That could be fun.
Like one of those sushi conveyor restaurants sort of
Right.
thing.
Actually, that's a really great business idea. Let me write that down.
All right. Well, are you happy with your meal?
I'm thrilled. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me in the fancy restaurant.
You're welcome. This was fun.